Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It is me, Chris, and of course, wouldn't be a show without the Jimmy.
What's going on,
Welcome
Chris?
back, homie.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nice to be back.
Hey, so you and I are we like to golf.
Heck
We were
yeah,
actually
we
just
do.
talking about golf and the rounds that we played this last week. But I was listening to something, and it was the response was very interesting to me. So I want to see how well you do on this.
What were you listening to?
Well, it's just a podcast, but
Okay,
they were
okay.
talking about. Can you name the top 10 golf states in America? In other words, the 10 states that have the most golf courses.
I could probably name, the top.
There's obviously
five.
some obvious ones.
So I would say South Carolina.
No, not in the top 10.
I thought South Carolina was like the golf capital.
Myrtle Beach is,
That's why I thought
but not the entire state.
Wait a minute. So what is it again? What qualifies?
The top 10 states with the most golf courses in the state.
Oh, most amount. Well, geez, I still would say South Carolina would be.
No.
It's like, is it per capita? Whatever.
No.
Just
number of golf
courses.
Yep.
Well, then you got to go with like Texas.
Texas is number 3.
Okay. California.
California's number 2.
Well, it can't be small states like Hawaii. Like if you're talking about, if it's not like per.
Nope.
Per
it's golf
size.
Courses.
Total number of golf courses. Well, I mean, I'd have to go big states. Well, Arizona, maybe?
Arizona's not on there.
No. Southern states, bigger states, Louisiana.
No.
Oh, man, I'm trying to think. Florida, definitely.
Florida's number 1.
Florida, definitely. Yeah.
So you got number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Okay. So try to get 4 and 5. Nevada?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Geez, I'm going to have to just go with like those other New Mexico.
No.
Whole number. I don't think there's not enough.
So Florida has
northern states like
Florida has Florida with the most has 1,036 golf courses.
All right, well, let's go with Georgia.
No.
Not in the top 10?
Nope.
Where are these states? Let's New York.
Yes, New York's number 4 with 912 golf courses.
I can't see that like any of the northern, like the Dakotas can't be up there. They can't have that many. It's too cold. It's too seasonal.
They can only play a month a year.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Kansas?
No.
I'm trying to think of Midwestern states that might have who plays a lot of golf. Tennessee.
No.
Kentucky.
No.
Not Alabama.
No. No more southern states.
No, Jesus Christ.
No more southern states.
I,
You got Midwest. You basically have Midwest and East Coast.
East Coast. Let's go with Virginia.
No.
North Carolina.
Yes, they're number 9.
And South Carolina is not on.
Yep.
Not in the top 10. That blows my mind.
South Carolina only has 620 courses.
That blows my mind. I'm not buying it. Let's go. I can't. None of the northeastern states can. They're so small.
Well, I mean,
Massachusetts.
no.
Maine.
No.
The only one. Jersey can't. Jersey's way too small. Pennsylvania.
Yes, number 7.
I'm still surprised by that. 7. So we're missing what? 5, 6.
You're missing 5, 6, 8, and 10.
Oh man! Obviously, I've done terrible in this.
You want me to just give them to you?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's not.
So number 1, Florida.
Okay.
Number 2, California. Number 3, Texas. Number 4, New York. Number 5, Michigan. Number 6, Ohio. Number 7, Pennsylvania. Number 8, Illinois. Number 9, North Carolina. And number 10, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I got 4.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So, yeah.
That's nuts.
I just thought it was interesting to me because I didn't.
That
you don't think about, those things. But I mean, I should have thought about New York because I know just in my small podunk ass hometown in upstate New York, there's 15 courses.
Yeah, it's surprising though. I mean, yeah, it's a big state, but there's a lot of them too that don't touch them.
Yeah.
I know. I thought golf's pretty big in like Arizona. I'm kind of surprised the more southern states. I know some of them are too hot. Arizona's kind of like northern state in the sense that people don't play golf there in the summer for the most part, and except for in probably the northern part of Arizona.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting. So
interesting.
nice, change it up a bit.
How many did you get? That's what I want to know. Like, yeah, did you know that? Are you shocked as I am about South Carolina? I would guaranteed.
That was like my number 2 guess was South Carolina. I know. Yeah.
Obviously, you can go for the bigger states because of if you're just talking about number of courses, but that's definitely a surprise.
Yeah. So cool. So I got to tell you this story, and I'm going to paint it in a picture that it's happening to you.
Okay. What did I do?
So you're sitting at a restaurant or a bar with your wife.
Been there.
Okay. So somebody walks up, somebody you don't know, walks up and says, to your wife, says, "Hey, I just saw you in a movie." And you say, and she looks at him and she kind of chuckles, and she's like, "Yeah, ha ha ha, very funny." Well, he's like, "No, I'm serious. I just saw you in a movie. It was about Maryland prisons." And she's like, haha. He's like, "No, I'm dead serious. It's called Inside Maryland Prisons." What's your reaction?
It seems like this person's nuts. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, and luckily I've known my wife long enough that I'm not going to question.
I thought so too. But that happened to me and Megan this past weekend.
Well, we don't know. Megan's passed.
And she is a West Virginia girl. But, no, we're sitting at the club, and a guy walks up, and I mean, I can't say I don't know. I mean, I've seen the guy before. I don't think I've really ever talked to him. He walks up and he walks right up to Megan. He's like, "I just watched you in a movie." And she's like, "Ha ha ha." And he's like, "No, I'm serious. I just watched you in a movie. It's called Inside Maryland Prisons." Sure as shit, dude. There's a YouTube movie that's an hour long called Inside Maryland Prisons, and Megan is in the last.
She's actually in it?
She's in the last 10 minutes of it. It's a documentary.
I was going to say, that's a very accusatory statement to be like, not even question, not be like, "Hey, were you in a movie?" Because I think you look like somebody that was in it.
No, he's like, "You were in it. I saw you."
Why is she in this documentary?
So, and I think what was funny was, like,
did she not know?
No. Well, the thing is it happened like 5 years ago.
Okay.
Where we were at a gun raffle.
Yeah.
And there was a French camera crew that was at the gun raffle, and they were following. Because Europe doesn't have sheriffs, so the United States sheriffs are like exclusive to like the United States.
Okay.
So the Europeans don't understand this concept of what a sheriff is.
Okay. Don't they have something similar?
I guess. I mean, I thought the fucking
Constable?
sheriff. I thought the sheriff of Nottingham was British, but
French. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
But the French, at least this crew, said that they. This is having a sheriff is like an anomaly to them. They don't understand it. So they're doing a documentary on sheriffs. Well, Sheriff Chuck Jenkins goes to a lot of these gun raffles and MCs them and calls out the numbers and all that stuff. It just so happened that they were there filming him.
Oh.
And actually the whole hour is about him.
Yeah.
In different places, one at the jail, one, and at the end he's at this gun raffle because he's running for re-election, and so they were filming that as well. And Megan and I happened to be sitting at a table, and the camera crew came up to Megan and said, "Hey, you're a female at a gun raffle. Would you mind being interviewed and talk a little bit about guns and gun culture in America and all this stuff?" And so she did. And then they brought her out and they said, "Well, if you were to leave here today with any one of these guns, which one would it be and why?" And she picked one up and she was talking about it and blah, blah, blah. And she puts it down. Well, the next scene is Megan winning that gun.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's funny. They didn't set that up. No. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she actually won it on a gun jar.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool.
And so basically, like the last 10 minutes of this documentary is them talking to Meghan and like kind of following Meghan around.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's so funny though. But it's funny now because Meghan's now the representative of American gun culture to the French.
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder if they're watching this documentary and all these crazy Americans and even the women are in.
She needs to put that gun down. Get the croissant.
That's hilarious.
But no, yeah. But I was just like, what the fuck? Like some random.
No, I just.
So now I keep asking her. How's her? I want to go visit her IMDb page.
Yeah, there you go. She's got a document.
I was in it twice. I didn't speak in it. I didn't have a speaking role, like Meghan did, but I was in it twice.
I hope you get royalties.
I mean, no kidding. But yeah, so that's like so bizarre.
That is bizarre.
And we had completely forgot about that had even happened because it was like 5 years ago.
Stop telling people I went in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife is in a prison movie.
No, when you brought that up, it made me think of like Friends, and I think somebody goes up and accuses Phoebe of being in a movie. Or something.
It's her sister.
It's her sister. Yeah,
she's a porn star.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, you covered it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when a guy walks up and says, "Hey, I just watched you in a prison movie," I went right to, "Were you in some sort of movie that I maybe should have seen?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought I knew you.
Yeah. I mean, the past. I mean, I get your past is your past, but damn,
Shoot, that's hilarious.
That would have been something that I wouldn't necessarily have left out.
The confidence of that person would have got to me too. Like, what are you talking about? You're nuts.
Yeah.
Not even just.
Yeah, it was definitive.
Yeah.
It was definitive.
That's funny.
So.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, any weird shit like that ever happened to you guys? I mean, let us know. I mean, because that to me was like bizarre. The way it happened was just bizarre. And yeah, so I don't know. Got the 4 weeks. What are we? 4 weeks or 6 weeks from the election?
6 weeks. Right?
6 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh no, today. Today's
Is it
Tuesday.
today?
Yeah, because the election's always on Tuesday. So 6 weeks from today.
What are we gonna get?
It's gnarly.
A big difference.
It's gnarly. It's. I don't know. Harris went on and did this interview with Oprah. You know how many people viewed it? The day after, the numbers that came in for the day after, and this is telling to me, the numbers that came in for the day after of who fucking viewed it while it was live was 300,000.
What was it on? What did
it was on Oprah's network or whatever.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't think
300,000 people. That's it.
I'm sure it's been viewed significantly more on the internet on people highlighting how useless she is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was bad. Even the question. I mean, Oprah obviously isn't going to hit her with any hard questions.
I think from what I saw, she tried to tee her up on some things and was just like,
yeah, and she failed.
Yeah, she failed
miserably, which is why you're not hearing them talk about it.
Yeah.
Like they are not talking about that interview at all.
I've been saying that the Democrats have basically done everything wrong for this entire campaign thing, but I will walk that back a little bit, and I think one of the best things they could have done, at least for Kamala's case, is to wait as long as possible
to make her talk,
and just not put her in the limelight. So bringing her in at the last minute was her only chance to make this work. Yeah, because otherwise everyone is going to be begging.
Yeah, if you had a whole year to pick apart her,
begging for somebody else to be in her place, because she's already failed hard at the presidency, and now all of a sudden she's this majorly viable candidate that all these leftists think that she's great. It's so telling how absurd and how just sheep like they are following along after the whole time. They're like, oh, Joe Biden's great. He's perfectly fine. And him advocating, saying, I will never leave this race. I will definitely be the candidate come November. And they just the next thing and the next thing, and they just act like nothing happened.
Yeah, he's
And now they're
and
ready to
I mean
roll.
we don't like right now. Currently, we don't even have a president.
Oh my god!
Like he
Whatever,
hasn't.
yeah.
He spoke today at the UN. Insignificant. Nobody cared. Nobody paid any
He doesn't
attention.
know where he is.
But he hasn't done. Not that he's done anything in really the whole 4 years, but since he announced that he was not running for re-election, he's been a ghost.
I mean, I think it makes sense to him not try to overshadow and let her if she's going to represent.
I get that, but we still need a president.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
still need a leader of the
but-
country.
But we know he
was
hasn't
never
been
that.
doing that anyway.
He was
so,
never that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So you weren't here on Friday, but just real quick before we go, how big do you think this Diddy thing's going to go?
Oh, that's a good question. It depends on who's like really implicated. That's the big question, because it is kind of interesting that he's taken the fall. I would imagine that he kind of knew what's coming and is probably just trying to work a deal, because for him, the best thing he could do is work a deal and go away from the limelight forever, basically. That's his only chance. Otherwise, he's in major trouble. But it looks like the law enforcement arms are not interested in doing that, and and he has a lot to pay for.
Well, and there may be a reason. There may be a reason why they're not willing to do that either. There's a lot. So a lot of the names that have been circulating are not just in the music industry.
Yeah.
There's musicians, there's athletes, there's politicians, to include one that's currently running for president with her affiliation with the people that she was dating back in the day. So there may be incentive not to do it yet, but I think it's coming. And if a quarter of the names that are being quietly dropped in this are even remotely true, this will be the biggest destruction of an industry probably ever.
Well, it's probably is an indicator of why he really can't reasonably cut a deal, because there's no reason for law enforcement to be like, sorry, you can't get out of this. If you're that much Epstein-like and involved in that kind of
that was going to be
stuff.
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
At what point does Diddy get Epstein?
I don't think he lets that happen, but maybe he doesn't have a choice.
He might not have a choice, because some of the political names that are being floated around are some of the same ones.
Yeah, but the bad thing is, because that's already happened once, that anything like that happening again, and would just be worse. So
I agree. But they think they can, this is that political class and this, leftist fucking elitist class that thinks that they can get away with anything. So who knows? I don't put it past them.
True.
And I don't put it past him that it happens in a different way. Oh, all of a sudden he's going to get paroled and have a car accident. Or all of a sudden he's going to get paroled and have a plane crash. Or all of a sudden, So I don't put it past him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
So that's going to be interesting to follow. And like I said, if even, they're talking about Usher and Pink just went, after he was arrested, went on and deleted 10 years worth of their Twitter history. Russell Simmons left the country.
Oh, wow.
And is like doing TikToks from fucking Fiji and has no intentions of coming back.
I can imagine anybody who was somewhat close with him would want to do that, just because they don't want to be implicated in something that they didn't have any involvement in, but just because they had an association with him. But I guess your thing is who knew him that possibly didn't know this was going on.
Exactly.
Right. So, but I don't know.
Kevin Hart's another name.
Really?
That is
he bounces around so much everywhere. I think.
Well, but Cat Williams, less than a year ago, came out about a lot of this stuff and said that Kevin Hart was one of these people that was kind of into this shit.
Really?
So
that's crazy.
So and Cat Williams said, I'll never forget it. Now that this has happened or this is happening, he was on Shannon Sharp's podcast, and he said The world's eyes will be opened on this stuff in 2024. And here we are.
Wow.
And nobody's going after Cat Williams for what he said.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's, initially there was a couple of people that kind of came out, Kevin Hart came out, he's full of shit. Blah, blah. But since this arrest, it's been fucking radio silence on anything about Cat Williams. Like nobody's coming out and trying to discredit him, disprove him, nothing. J-Lo's implicated, Jay-Z's implicated, Kevin Hart's implicated, so who knows where it goes.
It's quite an investigation.
No. So, but hey, all right. So this is our Trash Talk Tuesday. We will be back on Friday with a full show. I hope you all have a great rest of the week. It's raining here. It's been raining for fucking 2 days.
Yeah.
The only good thing is it's dropping the temp. So hopefully that helps on this upcoming Saturday morning.
Sure.
And I haven't even looked at the weather for Saturday, but I'm talking about hunting, of course. But yeah, we'll be back Friday, and I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. I hope it's nice and sunshiny where you are. If you're down south, where this tropical storm / hurricane's about to hit, stay safe.
Yep.
See y'all then.
See you then.